Sanking AA combo, right? They have ran that one.
Okay.
I know you like those.
There we
like
go.
And there's the Ogre Ban, as he talks about.
Yep.
Newbee did their homework. Enchantress.
There we go.
Slacks, what's going on?
Oh,
you said they weren't going to do the they've done the homework.
I shouldn't have said anything. They could hear us out there.
Oh, but Navi's prepared too. They're going to ban out that Faith Ogre Magi. 10-2 already in this patch.
Wow.
We're Newbee with that hero.
Well, they were pretty dominant in
Perfect
World. But...
Absolutely. Now, the thing that encouraged me most about the Perfect World drafts, since you asked about that, Fogged, was that Newbee showed a lot of variety in the first phase. They had a first phase Oracle pick. They had first phase Razor Omni Knight, as a lot of other teams then tried out. So I think Newbee is a team that's just diversified itself at the top of the draft as well. And there
Look
you
at these
go.
bans.
Oh, they've done their homework. Oh, no. Oh, God, no.
Everything we talked about. The Shadow Shaman, the Omni Knight.
I'm telling you, it's a major, guys. Each team is going to have prepared. And it doesn't help either that this is the first series of the morning. And so they will have had the teams up into the wee hours of the morning last night looking at these drafts.
Yeah. So Razor, Night Stalker is the only one we didn't really touch on. We've seen Roger have success on that one in the past for Navi. That aggression, I think, is the one thing that we were kind of talking about, how Navi can really pull ahead in this one. Newbee opens up with the Bane, just very flexible pick. Strong hero we saw Secret play with yesterday and to high success. Puppy having a very dominant performance on that hero. I think Faith's played that one a couple times too.
It is his, I believe, second most played hero so far this patch, 4 and 3.
5 seconds.
I'd like to maybe see them just get the Kakarot Spirit as well. And then
yeah. Big fan of him on that one.
Done that a few times.
I think Navi might take that away.
Whoa.
That's the other Seneko hero, right? The Witch Doctor.
I like him a little less on that hero, you know?
Much less.
I feel like he doesn't get to be the true Senekio that I know.
He gets aggressive.
Some good stuff.
He does get very aggressive with the Maledict on the Witch Doctor.
I like his play on that hero, but it just doesn't have the same kit. It doesn't offer the same kind of pushing threat.
Right.
Shadow Shaman does. And already, look at these first 2 picks by Navi, and maybe a little bit of a wave clear disadvantage, depending on what Newbee goes first. Of course, Bane, not so great in that department.
Clockwork, though, it's a flex pick, right? They're running it so they can, it's good versus the Bane in all situations of the game, and they can be put in 2 different lanes. And Newbee gets the Kaka Sanking, one of his most played, and as you mentioned, one of his most successful heroes.
Yeah, I gotta say, already I'm liking the opening that Newbee's got a little better than what Navi got with these first.
I'd agree.
I think Sanking and Banes have certainly got very nice ways to play around both the Witch Doctor and the Clockwork.
Clock being picked up early forces Newbee to actually ban out the Shadow Fiend, the soul trick that we do see so often.
Yep. And Navi banning out the SCCC Queen of Pain.
Oh, that's one that we didn't actually touch on. That's one of his more popular too.
Oh, he is, for my money, he is the best Queen of Pain player in the world right now. Of course, Sumail, maybe CTY, gods on that hero as well, but the farming numbers that SCCC is able to put up while still keying their team fight with that hero.
Wow, look at that, a Medusa ban. Is that...
I'm kind of happy to see the Medusa ban.
Yeah.
I feel like I've been seeing it so many of these games. I want to see some more variety coming out.
Sure.
It's not the most exciting hero.
But I'm just kind of question is pretty early for that Medusa ban, right?
I think because of the supports that they have.
Yes.
Or, well, we're assuming, we don't know where the Clockwork's going to be just yet because General plays it, but these 2 heroes, they don't really deal well versus Medusa if it gets to those later stages.
And just the tempo at which Navi likes to play. I mean, yes, they did beat Virtus Pro in that ultra long game that we had yesterday, the second match that we saw here, but Navi not generally a team that likes to go 50 minutes plus, and Medusa just so hard to push high ground against.
All right, well, we're in the reserve time already for Newbee. Strong lineup.
And there's no chance, is there, that KP plays the Sanking and they try and slip an AA into this lineup as well?
Maybe if there's something like a Death Prophet revealed for Navi.
So they have done that.
They have done that.
For the record, yes.
Okay.
They have slid KP over into the Sanking.
I don't think that would be that bad at all, but I mean, maybe say they want to see where it goes with the rest of this.
I don't think you need AA yet. I think if Navi picks a core that's vulnerable against it.
Yeah, they want more information.
Sure.
And I think we still don't know where the Clockwork's going to go. I guess we can say we don't know where the Sanking's going to go. They want to be able to have those kind of matchups.
Now, one thing that I don't like about the Viper pick here is that it gives away a lot of information that a hero played pretty much exclusively by Dendi and in the mid-roll by Navi. So Newbee now have a lot of information about what Navi's core configuration and their laning configuration is going to look like.
I don't know. Call me a hater, but I have yet to see Dendi be on that Viper and have like a standout performance.
Dude, speaking of standout, look at SCCC's hair today.
Woo! Maybe they're going to go for a bristleback pick.
I mean, there's a reason that
Dude, I love it.
you get a picture with that guy and your MMR immediately goes up by 500.
Wow.
True story.
I didn't know that. That makes a lot of sense. But anyway, I'd like to see Dendy on these more flashy kind of mids, you know, be able to show off. And Viper, sometimes they put it on him and I don't see it. But maybe it won't even be a mid Viper. Who knows? They could do something crazy. A Bat Rider.
So Newbee takes the bat themselves.
Yeah. This has been a staple of the Chinese scene for a long time. Flame at TI played some of the best Bat Rider in a single tournament I've ever seen. And there you go. There's the counter.
That was the quickest counter, as Owen said.
It could be the it could be the Roger Nix, right?
Oh, that's what you. I was like,
yeah.
what you're pointing. I was like, oh yeah, Roger Nix assassin. Let's go, boys and girls.
We love you, Roger.
He's
we know
gonna-
he had a good chuckle about it
He's got a
too.
point to prove. He's
Yeah,
gonna do
definitely.
it. I hope it is. I really do hope it
He
is.
has a much better already like situation coming out from this game. He's versus the Bat Rider.
I love
Makes the game
Roger.
a lot easier
Let's
for
go.
the Knicks.
Yeah, but it puts General onto that Clockwork, which I feel like offlane Clockwork is very high volatility.
Yes, and also the thing you were talking about earlier is the wave clear. They're already looking like having massive problems with the wave clear. And the farm prioritization, right? If Nyx and Clockwork are support and offlane, who's going to take the farm? Which one of the supports? No one's really going to be able to take that one. It's going to have to be the last hero, just a really hard carry for Na'Vi. And we've got the Bane Mirana combo coming out.
All right.
It's an easy combo right there. Yeah. Looking pretty
Still,
nasty.
Newbie lacking a bit in the physical damage department. Could this be an AM game?
Newbee's turn to ban.
You know, no one's picking AM. I'm not sure what the deal is. Maybe they finally nerfed him enough to make him unviable.
That blink change was
It was pretty bad.
Pretty big.
Yeah, it's pretty bad for the hero.
Remind me what that was?
cooldown.
Ah,
Yeah.
It's much longer now.
Blink
I think the hero is still good.
I think he can still have situations
That's
where
a
it fits.
good CK ban. That's a
Agreed.
really good CK ban.
I think that's we were just saying that we need a hero that really takes up a lot on the side of Na'Vi, a lot of farm.
Yeah, what do they get for Crystallize?
10 seconds.
A lot of his heroes are banned. The Morph, the CK.
PL.
PL is one of the ones that could be
5 seconds
instance.
remaining.
whatever happened to Sven? There's a hero that
Wait,
people use.
Tiny is still, after all this, is still on the board. I don't know that
He lost
fits.
a lot though, right?
Yeah,
Yesterday, as the
yeah.
teams
It
have
was
seen.
not a
1
good
in
run,
3
Tiny.
were Tiny and IO yesterday. Only win was by Liquid.
Dire team pick.
And yep, good
Well,
call.
they'll take the PL.
Newbie takes the PL instead then for themselves.
Yeah.
So seeing that Na'Vi has very little ways to clear those illusions.
Oh,
that
yeah.
could be
Viper
very
gets
strong.
owned by PL as
Yeah.
the game goes on.
Yeah,
What do they take it for Crystallize? I mean,
they gotta get wave clear.
So
I mean,
is this okay?
10
I would
seconds
guess that this
remaining.
is SCCC Murano with Mugi on the PL.
Yeah, that's what we would imagine.
5 seconds
Na'Vi
remaining.
couldn't try and run a drow lineup, could they? Just try and end it.
I think that would be suicide.
Okay.
They could do it. They could do it, but I think that would be suicide here. Drow and Viper as my cores against a PL.
I just feel like it's something I've seen Na'Vi do before, but yeah, probably not the best option.
You know what? I mean, it's Na'Vi. I wouldn't rule it out because they're the kind of team that would have the confidence that Drow could get like the Maelstrom up super fast to deal with the illusions, but it's tough. Fog, I don't necessarily see an ideal solution here.
I mean,
on
one
the side of
that
Na'Vi.
they do like to go with the Crystallized Weaver a lot of the times.
I think that's probably one of the
That's
better
a very
options.
sort of comfortable pick for Na'Vi.
It'll
I
do
just-
well in the lane, but I
Yeah.
think in the later stages.
Wait, what about
it's tough.
Sven?
that's what I was saying, bro. Sven, he
What-
got the wave
you need
clear, he got
something,
the
yeah.
carry, he got the slam jam.
I think you need something that has that AoE wave clear that can clear out the illusions, that has the big physical damage. I mean, Viper's damage output, remember, he needs people to be low.
I think what we were on like a limit similar thing, like having like a BKB core, maybe something like a gyrocopter too. That's still really
Gyro,
cool.
okay, Gyro works.
I mean, Gyro is a little bit squishy though. With all
He
this
is a bit
mad
squishy.
squishy.
If
Yeah.
that Marana gets ahead
gonna get
before his
blowed up.
BKB, yeah.
I think Sven
I
looks
like
pretty
Sven a
decent with
lot.
the BKB because it's really good versus the high magic damage.
But
that,
aren't you gonna have to
Yeah,
lane against
yes.
this bat as the Sven? You're gonna have issues that like a Weaver wouldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's gonna get blowed up. I don't know. They might have been drafted into a corner here. I'm not sure how you get a carry that
tough.
has that much wave clear that's gonna be able
That's
to.
just-
you
yeah.
know.
All the traditional counters, I guess you could Slark, but all the traditional sort of
Nah,
Bat Rider
nah.
counters in the lane are just horrible against the PL Mirage.
Oh, Lifestealer's still there, isn't it?
Hey.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
we'll
okay.
Slark,
You were
yeah,
wrong.
I
No,
guess
Hawes.
you could.
Nahaz!
Nahaz!
It
Cooling
does
the
have
Slark.
with the Dark Pact, it does have the ability to have some AoE against
Sure.
the illusions. It's mobile. It can get around in the fights.
Okay.
It can in the lane, right? Of course, you can purge off the napalm stacks.
It's good versus Miranda, the pounce.
Yeah. Okay.
Makes
All
it
right.
tricky for the bat to find the lasso, I guess. Yeah.
I still feel like it's going to come online a little too slow. Owen, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm not a big believer in the slot. I'm looking forward to seeing Navi do something amazing. It is crystallized, as I said. Don't discount this guy; he's incredible. But doing it with the Slark against Newbee, I think that is quite an ordeal. So I've got to go with Newbee on this draft.
I'm gonna go Newbee as well.
You know, I know you're gonna say Newbie too, but let's be real, guys. Navi's got this one in the bag. Just because they memorized their drafts doesn't mean they remember how to play against that CIS spirit.
5 seconds.
I got to go with the percentages. I think Newbie is the better team coming into this. I think they've gotten themselves a pretty good advantage in the draft. Let's go 3-1, Newbie, but I want to see 3 games in this series. All right, let's send it out. Kicking off game 1 of our second series of the day. Here are Toby 1 and Blitz.
You know, that panel can discuss all they want about the 5th pick, but I want to hear from you, Blitz. Slark was the pickup. We were tossing up as well, like the Svens, the Lunas, and everything else.
Yep.
Do you think Crystallize has what it takes to make this Slark work?
Absolutely. I think it's a great Slark game.
Wait, hang
Really
on.
excited to see Slark.
Wait, is this Slark bringing out the worst in you again? Or
No,
you
I'm very
actually
happy.
believe this?
Yeah.
You legitimately
Absolutely.
believe this?
Navi #1. What? Why are you looking at me with skepticism?
Because I'm a skeptic.
But not today, Tobes.
Not today. So you think it can work? Well, if it can round up the line, it's nice, but how do you deal with the PL with everything Navi has? Have you got enough if this PL gets fat?
No.
This is why I'm a skeptic. Like, you've got no clearance as Sven the Cleave would have offered, or the Luna Glades would have offered.
Sometimes, though, Dota doesn't require logic.
Yeah,
It just requires...
is this when we look at it and we were all standing there on the draft in the last series of just like, you know who's going to win this? Virtus Pro is going to win this, and then EG won it, and then we go back for game 2, and then it's like, and again.
What? Me and Slacks called EG, dog.
For game 1.
Yeah, for game 1.
For
called
game
EG.
2, we were all VP,
Yeah.
and then EG won.
But game 1, I don't know. We got game 1 right. You don't have to lump us in with...
with
your failed endeavor.
my 0-2.
Ours do not sully our record.
Hey, this is the reason why I don't go panel. I just look at the games and enjoy.
That's true. Sometimes that's all. Navi, that's what it is. You know, you
You just look at the games and
just
enjoy.
look at the games and enjoy.
It doesn't have to make sense. We've got like a whole bunch of single target available against an illusion-based hero like a PL, and initiation-wise, at least they're going to have the vision game. Like, you're going to have Rocket, you're going to have Nyx Assassin inside of Invis, potentially Slark initiating as well inside of Shadowblade. So maybe we're looking at this from the wrong angle, where they're going to get the leash, they're going to get the lockdown, and then it's just bang, 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 kill them off before you can create and assemble the army.
The upside is that PL is a much slower hero. He requires a lot of farm to be somewhat serious.
Yeah.
I think that it is a good Slark game, minus that. Because if you look at the lockdown for him, he can almost shed off all of it.
Yeah.
And I think that's the main reason they picked him. So the objective right now for Crystallize is I have to kill everyone else, and then my team has to help me kind of maneuver around the PL. They're gonna have to get into like a situation where they just kite him.
You start playing around with the Viper's Nether Toxin. At least that's one way where you can. I don't want to say you can't zone it, but at least you can try and. Can't zone, but yeah. What's the thing I'm thinking of?
What are you shooting for right now?
I'm thinking of like the sentries from StarCraft 2, where you can shield block and just lock them in that
Force
way.
fields.
Force fields, yeah.
Force-
Yeah, you can force field them into one area and just lock them up. Colossus can't reach. Yeah, tribute to esport game. Yeah, maybe they can do that. But I sense a couple of problems as well for the Newbee lineup. We talk about like Slack being shrug things off. This Nyx Assassin, who is our player who's DC'd, it is going to be a Roger Nyx Assassin, so it's a clockwork off. Is it enough to say the Nyx is going to be a problem just because he has Spike Carapace against a lot of AoE abilities, which they probably can't control? And then are you happy putting this Nyx into a 4 role and not having him in the 5 role, where the clockwork in the 3 role where the clockwork is currently sitting?
I think so. I think that Roger doesn't need to do a whole lot. He just has to spike Carapace under the Firefly. Like, that's the main thing that you're going to shoot for. That's the reason why Bat Rider gets countered by the Nyx Assassin. Like, anytime the Bat Rider tries to go, it's really difficult to find the initiation. It's similar to the matchup against Puck. It's the same reason why people pick Nyx against Puck. counter, so you can always get the instant.
The instant disable.
Yeah.
So we got a small problem, as you can see on the screen with Faith. It's his mouse, which is currently having a connection issue. The guy below the desk, our technician, looking to fix things up quickly. No delays today. No too much hype and blow the power board.
That killed me.
Oh,
But I'm back alive.
the power board didn't kill you. The soundboard killed you when I pulled it. That's what that was. I like to see the old combination. Like, even though you're running this as a core Mirana, a 2-position Mirana, having Faith Nightmare set up, is it actually as easy to pop off? Like, do you have problems with Na'Vi? Like, can they even get rid of that? Apart from just stealing the Nightmare. Like, how do you stop Nightmare into Arrow if you're Na'Vi?
Somebody's got to tank it.
That's it? You just
Yeah.
like Slark jumps in, just Dark Packs on the way.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like,
you can do that.
I'll take this.
Nyx
It's
can
fine.
tank it and just spike Carapace as well. There are a bunch of options, Tobes. Don't worry about that. Don't overthink it.
It's the old-fashioned combination, right? Like, who was that? It was the French team, right? That kept running that. Sebastian's team.
Sigma.
It was Sigma.
Maybe. That was the one with like Godlike and stuff. Shout out to Sigma International. What a team.
As opposed to the original reason for Sigma, which was going to be an all-French team. Just like they attempted. They succeeded with the all-Swedish team. TI winners. Now, what are they playing here? They're actually here at DreamHack playing another game.
Arena of Valor.
Arena of Valor, they're here playing. My, how esports has developed. But NewBee, they're waiting around the front of Roshan. 4 heroes ready to go. This looks like the old, like, wait for the bounty kind of maneuver. But they're going to do what they did yesterday. It's this smoke up and run forward. They do not want to observe a ward here because there's a sentry available. But the Bar Strike onto Seneko is going to help out. The arrow will connect. So Seneko will die. They're giving the last hit into SCCC. But the advantage that Na'Vi will have is they know exactly where that Radiant Observer ward is.
No, the play is to immediately bring yourself a sentry and then de-ward it.
As if they know, like, he put that down before they got close enough to see him. So it might be hard to understand it.
What's weird is it looked like Seneko knew that was coming, but he dipped onto the low ground for half a second and they saw him with the stun. And of course, the Sand King does have boots level 1, so it was pretty impossible for him to avoid that once he got onto the low ground.
Come on, Roger. Where's the efficiency, Roger?
Did Roger get the...
Yeah, he tangoed. He tangoed the ward. It's like, you could take some damage first.
Nah, you get rid of it instantly.
Efficiency. He's getting it out of it, like, getting it now. 13.3, running at SCCC, who's going to cop that range poison attack damage from Dendi.
What does he need regen for? He's a Nyx assassin.
That is very true. Base regen is already way too high. 5.4.
You think that hero, Toby, needs more HP regen? He's already eating a tango. Life is the tango for that man.
He's just got snacks stored inside the shell.
He's hibernating. He's preparing. He's bulking for the long winter.
What happens when he hatches?
True. Alright, this bottom lane though.
No. Yeah.
They try to set things up so it was advantageous. But I don't think General's happy up here.
Yeah, General's... Oh, what does he even do? Like, this is what we talk about. General regretting what decision? Decision that Na'Vi get more farm into Crystallize by getting him the matchup that they wanted, which is Batrider versus the Slark. He wants to get the pounce. Paralyzing Cask will hold him there. There goes the pounce. The TP out won't work. The Boris Strike over from Kaka, creating space. KP has his salve available, and this gang from Na'Vi is not going to pay off, even with the 3 heroes they brought to bot lane.
Now he's happy that his TP got cancelled. He's like, alright, sweet, I live.
General, problems underneath that tier 1 tower. Mugi able to easily close the distance on General. The Cogs still push him back.
He's out of mana now.
Yeah, problematic. Mugi's still got he's got a couple of stick charges up his sleeve, and with the help of Faith, they get a couple of hits into General, and there's the Phantom Rush forward, but Faith's basic attack, once he had the vision inside the trees, gets the kill. So NewBee 2-0. A very good start for the offlane of PL.
This is just pretty rough for Na'Vi. All 3 of their lanes looking a little bit weak here early on as they are devoting the tri-lane here And the downside of this, Toby, is that they're splitting XP among 3 people. So everyone's just bottlenecked around level 2, whereas KP's already level 3. Even if he dies at this point, I don't think he's going to be too dissatisfied with what's happened.
Yeah.
And Kaka's hero matches up pretty well against both Roger and General, because you can't really trap the Sand King, right? He has an escape at all times, he's got a reliable stun.
There's only one ability that can actually pull him out of the Sandstorm if he wants to go into it, but he Burrow strikes forward, making the most out of the end of the DD. Paralyzing Cask wants to get space of his own. He went Caustic Finale, so there is no Sandstorm. With the Maldic damage, Kaka is dead.
Yeah, KP has no mana to try to help him out.
He's
Hard
getting
commit
mana
for that.
burned by Roger.
Yeah, hard commits for that. Pretty surprising. And now
They're
they wanna
TPing
make
back
the jump.
down. Kaka's
Gets
going
the
to have to
stun.
sacrifice himself if KP's going to get out of this one. The double Burrow Strike will do it. Paralyzing Cask, again being a nuisance, but Faith is rotated over. He nightmares onto the Nyx Assassin. Who are they looking at? Kaka needs to turn around. Burrow Strike's off cooldown in 1 second time. It's a level 1, so the range is pretty ass, but he has the time when Nyx Assassin takes forever just to turn on the spot. 4 stacks of sticky napalm. A lot of gunk in the cogs.
Yeah, unable to do anything there as Dendi in mid lane. Pretty even so far. Once he gets these 2 creeps, last hits, he will be
General?
dead even as General.
Yeah, Battery Assault's going to wear off. Courier just baits in for the attack.
He's doing pretty well up here at top though. Is level 4, hasn't had a split XP with anybody. Mugi,
He's got 13 denies on that lane.
Yeah.
I think a lot of that, some of that's cogs though.
those are a lot of cocks.
Nightmare. Onto Seneko. Roger's nearby. Gonna try and help out. Paralyzing Cask into the Impale.
Up at top though, General. Trading hits with Mugi as he gets mana burn once again. He should pop his salve here, I think.
And SCCC, he took to 4 HP then in mid lane. So low with the attack from Dendi. Just a little bit more and he would have got that kill.
Yeah, I'm surprised that SCCC is even keeping up in this lane. Almost nobody outtrades the Viper. And he's learning that the hard way right now. Still, the kills 3-1 in favor of Newbee. Navi, though, doing a very good job in the laning phase when it comes to CS, of keeping things relatively even. But it's the Spat Rider and the Sand King that are going to be the playmakers for Newbee, so we need those heroes to do well if you're a Newbee fan.
Well,
And-
Kaka's still short on levels, but KP's getting both levels and a large amount of farm. 25, 20 for 5 as a CS. He's got more CS than the Slark does. Not too shabby at all.
Conversely, though, this Bane, haven't felt his presence too much on the map. Has tried to just run around and trade. Both supports from Navi, still a little bit underleveled, right?
Maybe another reason too why Faith's here in the mid. Adds a little bit more pressure onto Dendi, top lane, Mugi in general, battling it out. There's still illusions that's making life a little bit more difficult for General to get this kill, but with Lance
General's
and
down.
Phantom Rush, Mugi, heavy damage. The setup is still ready and prepared on bottom lane, so Seneko going to look for this paralyzing cast. KP as well as SK. Oh no, the impulse from Roger is going to miss, but Kaka, Burrow Strike forward. KP taking way too much damage with the Maldic pop. Actually crystallized against the last swing in to find the kill on the KP.
Yeah, very fortunate cast bounces there too. At the same time, General giving up that solo kill to Mugi hurts him quite a bit. Mugi jumps forward to level 6 right now. The Slark, on the other hand, is only level 4 as a benefit, having to share the lane between 2 other people.
It's that question mark we put on the game, right? Like, how does Na'Vi deal with a PL, especially a PL that gets an early start like this? I don't want to say it's going to be just as powerful as Ace was in his lone draw
Another
before,
kill,
but it
though.
feels like a similar situation. Yeah, KP back behind the T1 towers. Faith, who was going on Dendi in mid, resulted in his death, and the battery assault not going to happen when SCCC had the leap available.
Just gonna back out as at bottom, Seneko getting traded out right now, but here comes Crystallize.
Yeah, Kaka stick charges up and goes into the Sandstorm. Nothing they do after that point. Still, the only hero on the map able to get him out of that is the Clockwork. Easiest arrow.
Tower is under attack.
Things gonna reset, at least just for a second. Dendi feels very confident in this mid lane.
Boogie feels even more confident up on top. There's so many of him just underneath the tower. He continues to spam them towards General. And General with this level 6, like, you know he wants to rotate off the lane. He wants to try and gank. But one, he doesn't have the life. Two, he doesn't have the TP. Maybe this will work when Mugi, the paralyzing cask, it bounced back down to him. So doppelganger's up. General hits the hook shot. They hold him in with the cogs, and Mugi's going to fall. A huge kill for Na'Vi. They definitely needed that against Mugi, but then they go on mid. Nightmare prepping it up. Rogers in the neighborhood, double stun, hitting both SK as well as SCCC. Kaka hits the burrow strike. Arrows available. Roger body blocks it up as SCCC low on mana. Even with the one charge trigger, Roger has to start the run away up the hill. Kaka burrow strike 1 second now off cooldown, goes through the Nyx assassin, and Newbee will pick up both of the Na'Vi mids.
And they're going to immediately shrine for this too. Being very efficient here as Seneko, right above them though, does want to start running pretty soon. Is level 5, but is going to snatch the bounty rune in front of Kaka, who sees Seneko in the river, but he's already made his way out. And in mid lane, they did lose the Viper, so things are a little bit more even, but not too shabby for Na'Vi. They were able to kill the PL, and they, like you said, needed to slow down his momentum. He was doing a little bit too good.
Yeah. Like, if they let him keep going, this Diffuser Blade, which is it's still a little bit away, it probably would have been completed by 10 minutes. And unless Na'Vi can actually stop it, okay, Seneko, paralyzing cast, the Pyro Strike. Kaka barely got that in time. The TP was very close to completion, but Seneko will die, and money will start rolling in for Newbee. Mugi gets 1 the kill, and 2 the tier 1 tower on top. Meanwhile, on bottom, Lasso. You get a quick mana burnout, so there's not much more for KP to really commit to this as he just gets stunned up, leashed up. And Na'Vi are pretty arse at pushing towers, so this tier 1 tower is not going to be traded. And there's Mugi taking the top with the extra cash.
Gonna go for the Diffusal first. Sometimes in China we saw the treads into Diffu, but I think most people prefer getting the travels anyways on this hero. There's more utility there too. As in mid lane, it looks like they're trying to set up, of course, you can't leap out of Pounce, but nobody quite there. And I think the Clockwork, without the hookshot, might even make his rotation upwards. Who's the target though?
It's Mugi. He doesn't have a TP scroll available. He does have that 1 point up in Doppelganger. Kaka holding nearby. Mugi may just try and fight this one. There's your first stun. Here comes Kaka, ready to bounce in. Meanwhile, Faith caught out. Paralyzing Cask working with the neutrals to keep Faith in position. And Kaka and Mugi will wisely back out.
That was not the target that they wanted to go for though.
Smart TP from SCCC.
Yeah.
He knew the second that Viper Strike gets committed, he doesn't have the life to survive it.
It's a good idea. But that top lane gank, they made that huge rotation only to find a Bane level 5 in the jungle. Not who they wanted to grab at all. It was Mugi, definitely.
Yeah. He is the highest net worth by far. 4.8k on that PL to the 3.8, 3.9 of Slark.
Yeah, Slark will start to catch up though, Toby.
Yep.
Once he gets his Shadow Blade, he can just look around the map and be a killer. As Kaka, they dropped the sentry.
Yeah, they were looking. General still walking around in that invis rune, hoping for initiation. Mugi is the main man.
Yeah, they wasted a lot of time on this though. It needs to be successful.
They cast and they maledict the lane. They thought Mugi was one of them. General doesn't have long left on this invis, probably 5 seconds if that. So he's going to get a little bit of extra information, but you got no maledict, you got no paralyzing cask at the moment. So General has to retreat up, now reveals himself. Kaka.
Here too.
Oh, waiting for it. There goes your Lancers out. They're going to go after General. There's your Burrow Strike. Perfect from Kaka. Hitting both of them. Even the follow-up Fiend's Grip. Paralysis Cast bounces up from the Harpies. And General hook shots out, but Kaka, under the cover of Moonlight Shadow, stops the hook away. He's low on life from the Burrow Strike. Kaka will ensure it. The stun from Roger. On its money, the Sentry actually giving him the vision they need, but Faith giving him the space they need until Crystallize rotates in. Faith with the quick brain sap gets a little bit of the life back, but Crystallize, he's gone to the Shadow Dance after Faith with that fancy footwork. This is going to be very easy to get the pick up and give Crystallize a double kill on top.
Not bad whatsoever for Na'Vi. They do lose the Clockwork in exchange for the 2 supports, but still an overall even pickup. And during this entire time, of course, the Bat Rider is also farming and has caught up quite nicely. KP not that far away from the Blink Dagger, despite the kind of start that he had. 1, 2, and 0, but has focused so heavily on farming these stacks that he has caught up.
I'm interested to see just how effective it will be, like against Cogs and against And against Spike Carapace, this is not going to be the funnest time for him to initiate into.
Yeah, looks like he wants to try to give SCCC some farm too. That's now. He's going to move his way down here as SECC. Probably going to save the Firefly for his next attempt. Most likely in that mid area. You already see one core assembled there. It's much easier to just work yourself to the other cores.
Oh, Roger is coming underneath the range of the sentry ward. He can see him. Moogie. Doppelgangers away and then start spamming him. These now diffusal bladed up. PL illusions. Just to cause problems. It's not like Denny's got a high mana pool to start with. And the Witch Doctor needs every little bit he can get. 555 mana pool. When your ulti, Paralyzing Cask, and Maledict already sets you back 440.
That Rider is mid. Does have the lasso available. They didn't smoke for this though. I think they know that there's no vision. They've got a sentry down in the river. He's going to make the jump.
Oh, got it. Perfect. On to Dandy. Drag him back in again with both Fiend's Grip, Starfall, and Arrow committed. There's no way Denny was surviving that.
They really want this mid tower, and it's a good commitment by them too if they can grab it. Na'Vi in no position to defend it. They are bringing Crystallize over. He doesn't quite have that Shadow Blade yet. Roger's invised up now.
The Cask is slowing it down. KP still nearby, but like, what do you do? Roger in through the rear. Burrow Strike, they go in deeper after Seneko. Arrow flies from a long way. Nice impale from Roger, but he's going low on mana. So many PL illusions jumping forward to him with the Brain Sap. Moogie. This looks like easy pickings in the mid lane.
The amount of damage right now that this 12-minute Diffusal Blade is doing to the supports, he's just ripping them up, and Roger didn't have to commit for that. That felt like it was miscommunication. You saw the Slark coming up in the rear, but he wasn't ready to fight either. He doesn't have that Shadow Blade. He wasn't willing to commit.
Crystallize is going to be the next target. Firefly up. KP doesn't have the lasso available, but it won't matter. They just want to keep following him. This little ball of okay, Diffusal Blade. Hookshot from General. The Cogs is nice, but the Flame Break, it pushes Crystallize so close back.
He's so low.
He's holding him there. The Paralyzing Cask combining with Maledict, doing so much work. Not only do they keep Crystallize alive, but they get both Moogie and Kaka.
Slark with 1 health left in that engagement manages to survive, and instead they turn it around, and the damage on the Cask. Witch Doctor immediately drops everything and the kitchen sink. Mid tower does go down, but Na'Vi are going to be incredibly happy with that. That lead has just been cut down severely as the Slark is barely behind now.
They had about a 3k gold swing with just that fight. It was like, this will update in just a second, but the swing is a lot harder.
And now Crystallize has that Shadow Blade.
Yeah,
he's going to start hunting now.
He's just been enabled by the fight. What's he going to get? He's got Moogie, Rogers coming in from the side, and they take the courier. Smoke, Observer Wards. In the meantime, General dies in the lane. KP initiating once again with the Blink Lasso. Roger will TP out under the Ancients. So, courier for a clock.
Good trade. I think you're okay with that. I think both teams are okay with that, as weird as that sounds. You deny the courier from Newbee, yeah, but at the same time you also take away General, who's a core hero. I think if you get a support, you're kind of dissatisfied with that.
Newbee doesn't lose too much apart from like a little bit of vision game, like that's what was on it. Like, you smoke up, you found a kill, so yeah, it's fine. But they just lost their only aggressive Observer Ward, which was up near the northern bounty rune of the Dire side. So Newbee for the moment will be blind on the map before the courier respawns. And is Dendy really going to be able to apply enough pressure to this top lane? He's got support coming in the form of Crystallize in the back lines. STCC scouted in the trees. Just out of range of the tower. Crystallize cuts through the back part of the trees. STCC wants to go invis, but Seneko, he brought the dust, the leap away. He goes into the trees and Crystallize got it. Faith, Fiend's Grip is up. At least he can hold the Witch Doctor in position. And now KP and Kaka combine up the Dendy. The epicenter damage was quite decent and the Flame Break. They're going to get a 2-for-1 trade-off. Roger thinking about coming back into this fight. It's a little late, but he's got the stun. He's working with Crystallize in general. Hook shots through the back lines. Controlling up Faith, but Moogie, he goes invis, tries to use the micro of the illusions to bait out Na'Vi. They were not fooled. They find the kill. KP back into the fight, but with the Firefly down, General is burning in the fire and the flames. 3-for-3 trade-off. KP wants to go for more. SCCC back to the world of living. TP's up, flies the arrow forward. Roger will dodge this one. Crystallize stops for a second so he doesn't run into it. The Faith will find himself the double kill, killing Roger on the retreat. These chain fighting, and both teams very willing to fight as we hit 29 kills in 17 minutes.
That fight lasted so long that SCCC, who died in the very beginning of it in the tree line, manages to respawn and end the fight. There's a full circle commitment from both teams with pretty much everyone going down, but the important thing here, though, is that Crystallize is not dying in these engagements. He's continuing to pick up kills, and this is the hero that we needed to snowball on the side of NewBee. And conversely, it feels like Dendi, we're not really feeling his impact. He does still have a reasonable amount of net worth, but just hasn't really been able to put anything together. He's trying to be that frontliner for Na'Vi, but the rest of the team is not committing fast enough.
But he's doing a hybrid build too, right? Like, you've got the Maelstrom on him, he wants to be the front liner. Your Nate,
SCCC.
naturally tanky. Yeah, that's trouble for Apollo and Miranda. No way to really jump out this, but then again,
Nice
the
leap.
nightmare space created! Leap up, leap down! And away she goes!
Very well done by NewBee. Failed attempt, but should lead into the tower. Almost no chance that Na'Vi tries to defend this.
Yeah.
Or NewBee trying to defend it.
But they're making the most out of it. Like, Mugi's down on bottom lane, he's split pushing out as fast as he can, trying to build towards the mana style, making the most of the utility, the boots of travel you talked about previously. But you saw it pay off, right? Diffuser Blade first, gives the damage, now he goes into the split push control. And how does Na'Vi really answer that? They've got good ways to catch out split pushes, but they can't really split push themselves. Or are you happy with what Slark brings? Oh, smoke underwater, not great thing.
I think they want to play more aggressively than this. It's just kind of hard because your mid hero is not very mobile. Like, Viper isn't really a wave clear. He's
here they come.
a killer
Lasso, they're waiting for it. No, he lassoed a creep.
He got the creep.
Yeah, he didn't get the hero he wanted. The dust is out. Roger's on the run. Karka's trying to stay with him. They're actually stunned up by the impale.
Oh, this was miserable.
And this is huge for Na'Vi. They didn't get the initiation off that they wanted NewBee, and now they get out. All they got was Roger. That's all they got. Mugi wasn't involved then.
They barely picked him up too. He almost got out of that situation, but he stayed around thinking that the Sand King had decommitted for that. But KP latching onto the creep, a huge mistake. What should have been a very easy kill instead gets them all killed.
Yeah.
And Crystallize, this is why they pick the Slark. He might not be the best hero against the Phantom Lancer in a one-on-one matchup, but against the rest of the heroes, absolutely crushes them.
Oh boy. So Echo Saber is up for the Slark. You're looking at a semi-answer now from NewBee. They're trying to play the vision game a little bit more. They've got a Gem of True Sight on Karka. They realized with the death of that Dire Observer ward that they were being watched, and they're going to find the fresh one too. So Na'Vi, they're going to go a little bit blind on the map. If they find all of these wards, then it's even better. They're pinging out the position for it, and yep, there she goes. So all of the Na'Vi wards that are on the map, apart from the one defensive one they put next to their Ancient, are gone.
Very nice for them to pick up the gem. I think they realize that the main reason if they lose this game, it's going to be Crystallize or Roger, like the two initiations on that side. So they have to play their own type of game, pick up the gem early.
And
that should help them. But it's also a very heavy commitment, Toby. If you lose this gem early on, your game spirals out of control. That's going to be 5 or 6 minutes that you don't have any map control. You fed away 900 gold to the other side.
It does beg the question though, like, who do you initiate on? Like, do you go on Karka to actually take the gem? Do you try and lock down Mugi? You've still got issues with the Batrider when he jumps in.
Mid lane, SCCC, gonna get the leap.
Problematic again. He's got a couple of one charges, but okay, stunned up, down, and no buyback for 50 seconds.
Yeah, that was a desperation leap, but of course you cannot leap out of the Slark's pounce, which is why Slark is so good against that hero.
Yeah, good against Batrider, good against Mirana. Still problematic against Mugi, who continues to add pressure to the top lane. And Na'Vi does get the best trade if they can. Fortifications being burnt by NewBee, trying to slow down this push in mid, but Na'Vi have the catapult behind him. Dendi now with both Dragonlance and the Maelstrom, having some good damage of his own. They won't go high ground, but KP is looking to fight. Blink in, lasso. He actually catches
Should be
out
huge.
General Crystallize, bringing him down. Dendi's TP out, they don't see him. Just in the corner of the Fog of War. Karka didn't have Burrow Strike, so he didn't have the Sun available anyway. But that is a big kill. 530 gold going the way of Mugi. propelling him closer to that Manta style.
Just felt like he was invincible, and there was nothing in this game that kind of disproved that up until this point, but has to recognize that even he can still die in a game like this.
Lasso into Fiend's Grip, like, two fantastic abilities that will pierce immunity. Unless he gets his die pack timing perfect, he will die.
Mana Burn being expended on a Mugi out of spite. Notice that Na'Vi, they continue to play behind this Viper because he isn't one of these mobile cores. This is a hero, Toby, that you actively need to play behind because he can't move around. He's kind of like Medusa in that regard. He's not going to really do much for you outside of the team fights, and you want to utilize that. And that's why they're going for these aggressive maneuvers over and over again. That's why NewB, they just need to relax a little bit.
Yep. On NewBee are playing underneath their own observer ward on the other side of the tree, so even if Na'Vi want to try and push up from the east, just up the ramp and past that bounty, they can't do it. NewBee will see them coming. And Na'Vi are attempting it. They're smoking up themselves. They'll go underneath another Radiant Obs.
They can make these kinds of plays because there's no threat of Roshan from either side.
So many lines being drawn. The Clockwork Rocket does reveal they're coming from the south, however.
Yeah, they know.
So Moonlight Shadow, NewBee, under the cover of both their tier 2 tower. There's so many heroes here
Both
too.
teams see each other. Crystallize knows that he spotted out. He instantly pops Shadow Blade. His ultimate stopped regenning. So he senses danger. Now the team is going to back because they don't have the best vision of this area.
Yep.
Like, they don't quite know what's going on. They only know that they were spotted. So they should know where some of the wards are. And Na'Vi now holding the high ground instead. But NewBee's patient. Look at what they're doing, Toby. They're making a long way around.
We're also getting more and more money while this continues on. Mugi's now by far the top net worth by 2,500, but it's the fact he's got the Manta style done. So split pushing is going to become a lot more prevalent for Mugi. He's building into the heart directly after, trying to just sustain and survive against any kind of burst damage Na'Vi have. They won't be able to kill him off quickly. It'll have to be a long sustained fight, which sometimes is okay for a Slark. As long as he can live.
It's excellent for him. If he catches a bunch of Essence Shift stacks,
yeah,
I'd be really happy about that. The upside is, like, it's still a coin flip-y kind of game because if the Batrider latches onto the Slark and Slark has already Dark Pacted, like, if he catches him in the middle of a Dark Pact, then the fight just ends. Like, that was the main form of initiation.
Yeah. Unless he can drag him back in time. Like, that, how long does it take for Dark Pact to actually trigger? Can the Batrider pull him back in range of Faith? So Bane can get the grip.
I mean, if Bane gets the grip and he's already got packed off, he's going to be off anyways. As they all start TPing in, they know up at top.
Parker, Blink Dagger, coming forward. They got their Observer Ward deep-watered. That's the reason why they're pinging out. Looking up on the hills. They have to check out. They have to know there's some kind of aggressive ward. So Kaka brings the gem closer. Yeah, they're pinging it and they're seeing it. So goodbye, another aggressive ward from Na'Vi.
Yeah, and this is where the early gem starts to pick up. It's not the amount of kills that you get, Toby. It's the map control that you get as a result of it. That's why you don't instantly want to lose it, because then you just give the enemy the opportunity to de-ward you. But instead, Na'Vi, they're being taken advantage of right now. Not a lot of wiggle room on the map for them.
Three-man smoke up.
There's not a whole lot of it. And on the other side, NewBee can make this play because they have so much vision around the map. They've got a deep ward up at top. They've got a deep ward into their own jungle. They should spot some heroes here.
Observer Ward. It sees both Seneko, Crystallize coming in, but next through the rear, he'll get the Spine Carapace off. They'll stun each other. The Lancers forward, Dust well off target, and KP, he gets the jump onto Roger. The PL illusions from the Mandasal are moving forward, while the Nightmare is keeping Seneko out of this fight. SCCC is even killing up the Courier in the middle of it. Epicenter from Kaka, decent damage into Crystallize as to pounce himself away from KP. It's a 2-for-0 at the moment. More arrows flying forward from SCCC. Won't hit the money, but General and Dendi hot on the tail, but the Burrow Strike, it cancels the TP out from Dendi. Mugi didn't come up with his doppelganger, but it won't matter. Dendi is bone dry of mana. 3 heroes lost from Na'Vi, and NewBee pushing Na'Vi to a blind breaking point.
Yeah, they had no vision of that area. They tried to take that fight. The Slark thought he was invincible, which he still kind of is in 5-on-5 engagements like that, especially when the Bat Lasso is expended. But you notice that Kaka popped what would be considered kind of a defensive ult. He just focused on Crystallize and said, look, I'm going to make you force your ulti. Get out of here. This doesn't have to kill you. All this has to do is make time for the rest of my team, and that's exactly what happened. Seneko had a very nice death ward on the ground, but Mirana didn't really care. She just popped BKB, right-clicked him down, and they started moving from hero to hero after that. Numbers game is not in Navi's advantage, especially when Crystallize has to expend the Shadow Dance early.
So let's see it again. So this is the start where Roger and Kaka trade the stuns.
Yeah, they don't have vision on the low ground, so he goes for who he knows is there, which is the Nyx Assassin.
They're still fighting in the Moonlight Shadow. Like, you didn't know what you're getting into. Crystallize, like, he jumped up the hill far from the rest of his team in general. Only option was to just hook in. It is crazy, too, like, how maneuverable you can be on a Mirana with those leap charges.
The triple leap?
Radiant's
It
bottom
doesn't take you
tower
very
is
far.
under attack.
Like, it feels like half of one,
Yeah.
but it's still pretty good.
When he's able to use the cliffs, because the cliffs are so close in that area.
Radiant
The really unfortunate part for this Mirana is the fact that even though she can leap, she had to build BKB early on because of Crystallize, who continues to scale, is trying to get a BKB of his own, so he doesn't have to pop Shadow
Radiant's
Dance
bottom
early on.
tower is under
Yeah.
attack.
The dream in teamfights is keep your BKB or your Shadow Dance for as long as possible. Once you have to pop one, you have the other ready in the holster.
And Navi backing up to a farm game at the moment. General found himself an Invis rune. Not like that's going to really help him, however, considering just how great a vision NewBee had been having. Kaka as well back, all the way back at Fountain. So Navi have no real opportunity. Navi really feel this game's going to go longer. Hand of Midas. He level 14, 28 minutes in on that Nyx Assassin. He picks up the Midas and then queues up the Aghanim Scepter. Dreamlight Shadow. Kaka.
They have the high
looks
ground.
to fight. The Burrow Strike catching out too. Both Crystallize and General follow Fiend's Grip. That's a good hook shot from General. They'll lock him in with the cogs, but SCCC, he's into the back lines, the epicenter. Kaka going down the hill. This fight is hit to
KP.
multiple parts at the moment. KP will drop. Then he did the work. But you've still got Mugi ready to lend more aid. And after the illusions jumped in, SCCC at full life. Ready to fight General, low on mana. The cogs will create space. Crystallize jumping in once more. Has to pounce
Doesn't have
away.
Shadow
The
Dance, he's
arrow
gonna get arrowed.
flies! He hits him! The 4-star up isn't enough space. It won't be a minute down. Well played, well played. Roshan is
Not
now
easy
an
for them.
opportunity for NewBee.
Not easy for them to roast, so instead they transition into the push. Very nice arrow by SCCC. That teamfight looked like it was going to go brilliantly for Navi with that hook shot. They forced Kaka into the low ground when he tried to pop his ult. They made a very clear field of fighting, but
Kaka is watching him. The TP's coming over towards the shrine. He has the mana. Wait for it. No
he might just
impale.
juke him over.
Roger juking around the trees, but there's the TP over hero. Mugi arrives with the
second.
defusal. Roger, he's low on mana. Everyone's arriving. They won kill after kill. But this does create a little bit of extra space now.
yes, he's just trying to reset the map a little bit, see what he can look forward to. The good news for both sides is that even if they win a fight, like Navi probably does it a little easier than NewBee does, but neither team really does Roshan very efficiently. Like in normal situations, if 4 heroes are dead on the other side, you're like, oh, let's just all go into Roshan. But
Yeah.
they don't have the best heroes to do so, and NewBee doesn't even have the best heroes at just hitting objectives until they get farm. Like once this Phantom Lancer gets a lot of items, they'll hit, but in the early go of things, Toby, it's pretty hard for them to just freely hit buildings.
That's why both teams prepare for late game, right?
Yeah, that's why both teams haven't really taken any of the tier 2s. Like the only tier 2 that's knocked down 31 minutes into the game is this mid tier 2, which in this meta is really slow.
He just stayed there willing to fight. Let the PL now finish up his butterfly after the heart is done.
Yeah, the
Becoming almost unstoppable. 17,000 net worth on this PL.
The annoying thing for both teams is like NewBee can't really go high ground, but they need to fight because of their lineup as a result of not being really building hitters or objective takers. And the even more frustrating part for Navi is they also have to take fights because they don't want to go into a situation against a late game Phantom Lancer because they don't have heroes that can clear against him. They can't lock him down. And so you have both teams that need a clash, which is why the score is what it is.
Yeah.
But Navi is more on the desperation timer. It feels like they're getting a little bit more antsy as the moments pass.
Is it a common thing for a PL? So we look at the level 20 talent. There's not a lot of answer to his illusions, but he doesn't go the +4. Is 500 range? Like, it's huge, obviously, but is this the common thing on a PL on the 20?
I'm not sure. I don't play PL enough.
Fair enough. But this range in team fights is probably going to be very powerful for him to move. Like, the fights have been split into multiple parts.
Yeah, I'd imagine it's really useful too against like the clockwork and just to jump on top of people. I don't know if the illusions matter too much to him right now. As they grab a tier 2 and it looks like they're going for the high ground. Na'Vi need to hurry.
They're starting the TPs now, but this will be delayed TPs in. It's a double catapult wave. Wish Doctor jumping to the front lines. The PL Mantra illusions are there, and they want to go for more. The PL illusions are in very deep, keeping Dendy and General at bay. There's the fortification from Na'Vi. A lasso, they got the target and the drag back into the follow-up Burrow Strike. General is deleted. Buyback is available.
Oh no,
Crystallize, how
back.
do you push it? The tier 3 tower is going to fall, and Seneko is taking forever to retreat in. So the tier 3 tower is lost. Kaka with a Burrow Strike goes in towards Dendy. A large amount of damage, he can't get out. He's leashed up, but held in. There goes the gem of Crusade onto the deck. Who's going to pick it up? Crystallize right next to it, but now they're losing too many heroes here, Newbee. There's not enough PL illusions fighting for the cause. Mugi barely surviving, running away. Crystallize is still on him, and Mugi, he's juking it with the illusions again. Crystallize went for the wrong one. Mugi went north. Roger's done. There's no mana. He can't do it. All he can do is hit him with Vendetta. It's a 2-for-1 trade off. The gem is in the hands of Faith, and Crystallize has the Newbee one, so they actually end up... Well, Newbee had 2 gems. No, I think Bane bought a new one. That one actually, it belongs to him, so...
Yes, he definitely needed to buy a new one right after that, so... Not a horrible fight for Na'Vi because they did manage to pick up the gem, but General had a buyback, and more importantly, Seneko didn't have a TP for that, and so Na'Vi took so long to assemble for that base defense. You noticed how hard it was for Newbee to just hit those buildings freely? Like, they had to trade heroes for that. It's very awkward for their lineup, but it's not hard when no one's there to defend. It's just like, knock, I guess nobody's home. We'll just hit it a few times.
Did you leave the door unlocked? Like, the security system's not even on right now?
Yeah, I think Newbee was really surprised at that. They're like, oh, well, I guess nobody is doing anything about this.
Nope.
Let's just go uphill.
Na'Vi's checking out Roshan. They're coming in closer for it. They've still got Clockwork Rockets now from General to scout for it as he starts his TP in.
Yeah,
but Newbee, as he said, like they're not that great at doing Roshan, so they haven't committed for it.
Dendy's got a 10-second BKB, though. This is going to be very important for them. The initiation, though, has been the key so far. Na'Vi, when they get the hook shot off first, very beneficial for them. They're going to go for their own smoke. They want to try to take some map control back into this game. Being able to Roshan right after would be huge for them.
Be careful walking up that hill. KP's going to be ready to Burrow Strike. Kaka doing it again. General and Crystallize quick to counter it. SK push back from the cogs, but there's your Blink Lasso keeping Roger out of this fight for now. Crystallize Fiend's Grip. His entire BKB has been wasted while Seneko, the backlines, Mugi did all the work.
Dendy trying to get out now. Should be successful in this.
Yeah, he will be.
The cogs actually trapped 3 Na'Vi heroes in, though.
Oops.
Oh, if you see the replay of that,
Please.
It had the exact opposite intended effect. He traps all 3 Na'Vi heroes in. Newbee's just shooting fish in a barrel. And now,
please, let's see that again.
They're going to go for the Roshan. It's not fast. Look at how slow this is.
Here we go.
All right, so they initiate in. He cogs 3. That's 1, 2, 3, and they're just stuck in that area. It's such an awkward area for them to fight into.
Denny's even trying to attack from the low ground because the cogs don't make it easy enough to get it up. Oh, that's brutal.
Absolutely unfortunate for them. Just an awkward fight. And every second of BKB counts in those engagements.
It was all wasted. Crystallize came out. He was locked down by Fiend's Grip. Dendy couldn't do anything. Problematic to say the least. A TI moment flashback there too.
So it takes them forever, but they do manage to pick up the Aegis. I didn't think they'd be able to get it without absolutely wiping them, and that's exactly what they do.
Yep. And this is now so much money coming into Newbee. The butterfly we've been looking at for a while is 70 gold away for Mugi.
Mugi is so incredibly farmed right now.
Yeah.
He has 5,000 gold, a major item in front of everybody, and he is built to scale. It's not like this Slark who's got some cheap items in the Shadow Blade and the Echo Saber. This man has a heart, a manta, a butterfly. The Diffu is the single best item for value in terms of damage. Everyone on the side of Newbee is getting farmed.
Yep, and they're about to claim some unclaimed money on the map. Tier 1 and Tier 2 tower on bottom lane. Yeah. This is just even more injection to their... It's hilarious, like, overall, it's only about 4.2 to 3k lead.
Oh, it's because
in favor of Newbee. Like, it's not that high.
Yeah, it's mainly because Faith is so far behind everybody else.
3.5k net worth. It's more than Solo normally has in the game.
He lost his gem too. Doesn't seem like that big of a lead, but it's still significant that Na'Vi can't really take these fights anymore. And there's a lot of gold that's going to come onto the side of NewBee now. They're going to grab this tier 2. They have shrines open for them as well. You can see they're very aggressive here, and if Navi's not careful, they might just end up in a similar situation. They're picking uphill right now. They want to just go for it again. Na'Vi, you've got to get back right now.
It's a rinse and repeat. Dendi TP's the back line. General is already
They're doing a lot of damage.
The tier 3 tower is being brought down, so yeah, you get to claim the tier 2 tower up on top.
This was
but
not
now
worth it.
2 lanes of Rax are exposed. KP
Na'Vi
is sitting there in Firefly, wondering, where is Na'Vi? The lights are on, but no one's home, as Na'Vi are losing their melee Rax. The trade-off is on top. Snako and Crystallize, half damage to the tier 3
General's
tower.
gonna go for it.
Snako just waits and says, take me, I'm yours.
And he whiffs, and they're not going to lose top. And a really confusing decision by
They're
Na'Vi.
going for SDCC. Actually, no, they're not. They're not even going to get the hook shot. General stops for the creep wave.
He already used the hook shot.
That's why. All right.
He tried to, he barely whiffs, but you can't just let these teams walk up and go high ground, and that's twice now that they've done it, and it's not even like it's an efficient trade. Maybe if you get the ability to take the top racks, okay, that's 1 for 1, and the enemy team had Aegis, but they weren't nearly hitting it as fast. That was a Phantom Lancer and a Mirana that just walked up and started getting free hits.
Yep. And then PL just turns to the top lane, adds pressure towards the other lane of Rax. Na'Vi are being pushed to the extreme edges of the map. And if Mugi continues, it's like he'll move down. There's shrines to kill off as well. It's going to be a little too easy for NewBee. The only thing they haven't claimed outside the base are those shrines in the tier 2 tower in mid.
Yeah.
But they don't need that when you've got both side lane melee Raxes down.
And this is the downside. When you lose one Rax like this, NewBee very confident. They
they
understand
jump
there's
in.
no trade possible that they
That
can
smoke
make.
doesn't hide anything. Mugi just runs in his illusions towards Roger. Won't hit the mark on that, but they're keeping General locked in the back lines. Hard to get that hook shot off when there's so many Mugis on the field. Range is already gone. KP ready for his jump. Where's the initiation? He's got dust.
It's too late now. You got to go for the mid defense instead.
Yeah. The
Going
arrow
for this.
connects on Roger. He's just sitting there. They can see him because they just jump in close. Goodbye to the top lane of Rax and Na'Vi again. This time they are home, but they just watch people steal their TV.
I'm not sure. That's a bit awkward. If you go for that engagement and you lose the fight, of course the game is over. But at the same time, you've just had 2 racks taken for free. That can't feel too good either. And now NewBee, I mean, this must feel really weird for them because normally in Dota, you don't get to just get buildings like this for free. Usually there's some kind of contest. Without the tower there, there's nothing for Na'Vi to really fight around, and it looks like they're going to make their home in mid and try to play around this one set left.
This has to be it. This has to be the fight from Na'Vi. There will be no more left of their home if they don't take the fight. But the Aegis, the Immortal PL's on the front lines. He'll still have this for a little bit longer. And Roger, just with the Aghanim Scepter, tries to do the defense duty. But NewBee don't have to worry about this. They've got both the side lanes of Rax down. We're not going to worry too much about the range Rax on bottom. They can move back, take the shrines, and if they're worried about the timing on the Aegis the Immortal, wait for the next Roshan. What's Na'Vi going to do? They're not confident enough to fight inside their own base. What makes you think they're going to come out and take a fight outside their base and win?
Yeah, Aegis just fades right now for the Phantom Lancer. Would explain as well why NewBee decided to back out and not just go for the high ground mid. NewBee, of course, very famous for being a very patient team. Na'Vi, though, holding the high ground area. Crystallize is going to be the one daring to step out. He has that gem and a BKB, so he's quite confident in this, and it's actually NewBee that are just going to go for this top set of shrines as well. Picks it up.
Nice point out as well from our obs, the fact that Dendi did not get his level 20 talent. Bypassed it for the moment.
I would imagine that it's a difficult position to be in when you're playing like a Viper and you're not ahead. Because what is the point of poison attack affects buildings when you're not hitting buildings?
Yeah. Oh, KP on the hunt once more. Fireflying. Doesn't find his target, however. Na'Vi have all gone home apart from Crystallize. And Snako. Almost doing the sacrificial AUI style. Pushing in the bottom. Oh, they found Crystallize! The lasso, the Fiend's Grip. There was no Dark Pack. Karka's waiting. Yeah, they got the damage. They got all the time in the world. And 85 seconds without a Slark. No buyback is available. He's short by 74 gold.
There's a real timer going on right now. The gold does go a little bit faster, though. Here we go. There's going to be about a minute until he...
It's alright. It's Kaka! So close! Almost got the burrow onto Dendi. Dendi is also short by 420-ish gold for his buyback, and Kaka, his burrow strikes back off cooldown, but they won't go again.
Looks like they want to at least try to force something. They don't know that he doesn't have the buyback. And he also lost a gem in that encounter, too. So now the lead is 12k, and Newbee's just gone for the high ground. Roger trying to be as annoying as possible.
Lasso's off cooldown. KP can go for the initiation. BKB's ready as well. Roger's at least getting the stuns, putting the blink taker down. Yeah, that is problematic. KP moves in closer so they can reveal the Nyx Assassin, and now the PR Illusions will do their work, try and force off him out, but there goes your Nyx Assassin. No buyback from him, and it really seems like Navi hasn't got a concept to defend their base. They stand there and just wonder. In the textbooks it says I defend this way, but in practical, I don't know how it works. How does slot A go into slot B? IKEA furniture is in pieces.
Yeah, and Mugi is just ripping up right now.
GG.
They're going to call GG.
Yeah. What do you want to say about that game?
It was pretty even, but it was a free Phantom Lancer game. The Slark was able to do quite a bit on the map for a while, but at some point it just felt like the damage was petering out and they weren't able to really play around their Viper. It felt like they had one side of their lineup which was trying to go for pickoffs, and the other side where you have a Viper on your team and he's like, guys, I want to fight. I want to hit towers. I can't farm like you guys can, so I need to take these engagements.
Yep.